that's a lot of kumbaya, if you ask me.
No, it's not. That's why Daymond's good. I don't know why you're successful, but that's certainly why Daymond's good.
I think if you can't present a business plan, it's because you never made one. And frankly, there's so many deals. Why not just pick the ones where at least they put some thought into it? You don't see a lot of people coming on Shark Tank without some idea of what the plan is. Because if they don't have one, they get fried alive. And it's happening.
Let me tell you, remember, we saw so many entrepreneurs in this very season that had all the sophisticated language, all the background education, went to the best schools, and you know they were missing the #1 card. They weren't good entrepreneurs, and they had everything.
Barbara, but nobody's saying if you have a business plan that you automatically have drive or intelligence, but at least there's a stage 1 where you have to tell me, how you think you make money.
I think.
Well, there's levels. There's levels. It doesn't have to be the most sophisticated, but at least have some type of an idea.
Yeah, an idea.
Where you want to go. What's going to happen.
Yeah. How do I make
Great.
money?
Okay. Excellent. So divergent points of view, which is great. That's why there are many of you as opposed to just one. So another question coming in from the website. This is from Sarah Stairwicks. What is something you failed to prepare for when you launched your business and you had to learn the hard way?
Something
Who
you
wants to
had to
take that?
prepare for?
Yeah, what is something that basically a mistake you made, you failed to prepare for when launching your business and that you had to learn it the hard way? You had to learn the lesson the hard way. I guess the question really is, what's the biggest business lesson you've learned?
I didn't have financial intelligence, and I risked everything that I had, and I more than likely would have ended up being bankrupt. And a lot of times financial intelligence just comes with a lot of the small things you do to operate business. I mean, businesses, as Robert would always say, it's either more sales or less cost in operations, and I didn't have financial intelligence. So that was my biggest challenge, and thank God I partnered up with people who had that understanding and that I can learn.
Mm-hmm. For me, you know what I'm sorry, Kevin, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that the biggest lesson I learned was, when I was trying to raise money, only having one source. In other words, I was trying to raise $50 million during the period that the learning company was growing, and I let myself get sucked into only having one source of that. And when we came to close, that source went away. You always need 2 options or 3 options. So from that day on, having learned that lesson, I'll never do that again. When I raise money for businesses, I make sure I have 3 or 4 sources, and they're competing with each other. Because if you bet the farm on one source, you always get screwed.
I'll say for me, I wish I had more than one source. I never even had one. I mean, I would like kiss their butt if they gave me a source of money in those early years. But for me, the best lesson I learned was by happenstance, which was how to generate publicity for my brand. And that I learned out of need, as we all as entrepreneurs learn most of our most valuable lessons out of need. And what I needed was some way to advertise and get customers for my 7 salespeople that I had at the time. And so I published a report totally like...
Barbara, I just wish you'd done that with your clothes on.
Very funny. But let me tell you, the report I published was a statistical report with simply an average sale price for Manhattan property, because I was in the brokerage business. And it appeared on the front page of the New York Times with me at the front line quote. Boy, was that a learning lesson, to read my own name in print and suddenly have great credibility in my market as though I was a big player when I was just a little fish. Boy, I started churning out reports for the rest of my life knowing the power of the press. So I think free publicity was probably the best and earliest lesson I learned, totally by happenstance. I can't imagine why an entrepreneur wouldn't publish a report on their own industry, because it is the easiest way to get press.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. We've got more questions that are coming in. Here's another one just coming in on Twitter from @DrinkZoos. Are you less likely to invest in a company that has only one founder behind it? So someone who's kind of like a one-man or one-woman show. Are you less likely to invest in that person or someone who has a partner or partners?
I like teams. I like teams. I don't like single entrepreneurs. I like that way. If one gets run over by a bus, at least you have something less.
I don't mind if it's a single entrepreneur at all. I think sometimes it's easier.
I like singles.
Okay. Yeah.
It depends who you get in the package for me. I have with Robert Herjavec, I invested in a bike grease company. It sounds terrible, called Monkey Wipes. Great product, great packaging, great team.
Yeah.
But what I didn't know is one was a winner, one was a loser, and I got stuck with the loser when the winner went back to graduate school. I invested in pork barrel barbecue sauce, 2 great attorneys, one stronger than the other. The recent
Did you
deal
call one of those guys a pig?
yeah, well, of course he looked like a pig. Hey, that's not my fault. He just happened to look that way. Blame it on his mother. But here's the thing: I have found the great majority of my strongest businesses are teams. I have to say, it's not like I even consciously think of it, but 2 strong members are terrific. But then, hey, Daymond, how about the chubby lady clothes? How about what was our reaction when we found out the person who really ran our business was that husband of hers? That was horrible. That was like the surprise part.
Right. That's why I like singles, because you never know who's behind door number 2.
Yeah,
Right. And it's pleasingly plump.
Pleasingly plump. Okay.
Rubenesque.
Rubenesque, pleasingly plump.
Woman with curves.
Okay, we're going to take another question. This one came in from on Twitter, Joseph Colbert at FUZCOV, and talking about China's demand for American branded products. Do you find that to be growing or slowing?
I think it's growing, personally. I think that the Chinese market really loves American products, and I think they're just hungry. They're almost starving for them. They want more and more and more. And I think that that's actually growing, and I think it's a big opportunity for us in America to help boost our economy by selling more goods to the Chinese market and not the reverse.
If you could produce them at the right price.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
You need a partner doing a deal like that. It's very tricky to invest in China. I'm going to show you a little picture here. All those guys out in that room that you're seeing right now,
There's nobody there. They all went home. I swear to God, there's no one there.
40% of their time is in looking at Chinese deals. That's what we do because the growth is in China. They're growing still at 7.2%, and we in America are growing at under 2%. So you have to keep China on your radar because that's where there's a new middle class emerging. And Laurie's right. They're going to buy a lot of American stuff from us. We just don't know how to sell it to them yet.
Yeah, because you need a guy, a distributor, somebody, on land there bringing it in, or if you don't have a partner, then they're going to go and really do it themselves.
Right.
Exactly. Okay, very good. Next question coming in, or that came in a little bit earlier. What about, this is from, it came through our website. What if someone is an introvert? And they're terrible at pitching. They might have all the energy in the world and they're so excited and maybe they have a great product and sales, but they're really introverted.
Take them out behind the barn. Take them out behind the barn and shoot them. It's that simple.
I agree. Mm-hmm. They're not going to sell. They're never going to succeed unless they get a partner.
They need, I was just going to say, you don't need to shoot them behind the barn. You can simply get a person that can step up to the plate for them and be that outspoken salesperson who has the passion and the drive and the enthusiasm.
If you think about all the deals we see on Shark Tank, so many of them couldn't sell and they never got bought. Kiss of death.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Next coming in from Twitter. This is from AV Zubar. What was the biggest rejection you had to overcome? And how did you get over it in your own businesses?
Well, I'll jump in there. I don't mean to go first again. I'm trying to.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna answer one last one with you guys. I'll just hop and leave.